Okay, so here's the big update, Chad. If you've been hanging on to the edge of your seat waiting for the big update, this is it. This is a letter from the lawyers of Alyssa Mercante um, to the Kiwi Farms, specifically to Matthew Harden, as indicated by our contact thing. Yeah, it's a unprofessional letter, but there's interesting intrigue to this, and I'll get around to talking about Alyssa too. But she's like the Zoe Quinn of Gamergate too. She is a Kotaku journalist. She's a literal prostitute, and she's insane. So she hired this law firm, and it's a familiar law firm because of one reason, but another reason is that there's a guy in it called Akiva Cohen. He's the most Jewish-looking man that's ever lived. He's a part of it. And he got involved in the Nick Rekieta stuff at the start of Kick Vic. And when people spoke about him on the Kiwi Farms and posted shit he had posted on his own Twitter on the Kiwi Farms, he threatened us. He literally had been posting like family pictures on Twitter. And then when people started making fun of him for being an idiot for doing this, he submitted family photos of his to the Copyright Office to copyright them to try and bolster his threats against us. But this is his law firm, and he writes to the Kiwi Firms on behalf of Alyssa Mercante. Matthew, which is a great way when you're writing a professional letter between lawyers and you want to get your mission accomplished. It's always a good idea to start your professional legal threat letter off with a first name basis. Regarding your client's threat to tortuously invade Alyssa Mercante's privacy, we are writing you concerning your client, Joshua Moon, and his website, Kiwi Farms, one word. There is currently a thread on Kiwi Farms, one word, but with different camel case capitalization for no specific reason, in the non-public prospering ground section of the forum, hosting a full dox of our client, Alyssa Mercante. They are gracious to include a link to this private area of the site. They say, see this link. Please note that this thread requires a Kiwi Farms, 2 words spelled correctly with proper case, login to view and has multiple pages. We trust that you will be able to procure login credentials for yourself, given your relationship with Mr. Moon. As you may otherwise not be aware, Alyssa has hired us to pursue remedies both in and out of court against people who are serially stalking and harassing her online. Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms, one word, camel case, are not among those people we are pursuing. But we're just sending you a letter to say, hey, Matthew. Wait, can I make like a fingernail sound? Like, hey, Matthew, how you doing? I can't do it. I need like a scritchy scratch sound. Oh, here we go. How you doing? Oh, nothing much. We're just writing a legal letter. Just saying, how you doing? However, wait. But for the fact that it hosted docs, the thread would be otherwise innocuous, annoying, and upsetting in tone, but well within the bounds of the law. Well, thank you for saying so. That's a very nice admission. However, by hosting the docs, Kiwi Farms, one word camel case, provides an avenue for bad actors to get within the shield of Alyssa's privacy and turn being mean online into genuine threats to her privacy and person. That we cannot permit. So just so you know, it's fucking trivial to find this online. Like, you just go to any of those phone book apps and you type in her name, and it's like her address history for the last 20 fucking years shows up. The thread in question violates the laws of various states and jurisdictions. It constitutes a violation of Florida statute, West Virginia Code, Wyoming statute, and U.S. Federal Code, just for starters. The courts have recognized this kind of malicious doxing as giving rise to liability as well. We recommend Gersh v. Anglin for an explanation of how things we think of as protected speech might give rise to civil liability. So if you don't know the Anglin case, Andrew Anglin is the editor-in-chief and owner of the Daily Stormer. The Daily Stormer is a avowedly neo-fascist news aggregation site. And Anglin is, as I mentioned, the editor-in-chief. He was sued because he wrote an article where he posted an incitement, effectively. He posted the personal information of this Jewish family to this site, which had a specific political bias, which, as we've learned from the Department of Justice, is inherently violent. And I think he said something specifically to the effect of, go do something, like make something happen with this information. So it's not exactly the same thing. Then he hired Randazza as his attorney, and he realized they didn't want to fight this in the U.S. because he's like, well, it would cost too much money. So instead of fighting it, he just abandoned the case, and they got a default judgment. So it's not really the exact same thing. Further, the thread in question in Kiwi Farm's one-word camel case's hardware continues to host Ms. Mercante's videos, which is an infringement upon her intellectual property rights. Kiwi Farms has no DMCA safe harbor. Yes, it does. We have a registered DMCA agent. What the fuck are you talking about? Further, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act offers no respite to Joshua promoting any thread of the Kiwi Farms property. This is the only interesting angle that they had in this entire letter, by the way. Promoting any thread out of the Kiwi Farms proper requires affirmative staff action, which obviates the site's Section 230 protections, see FTC v. AccuSearch, Inc., holding that where a website solicits and collects confidential information specifically for the purpose of publishing that information, a docs, for instance, then that website is not entitled to Section 230 immunity. This was interesting. I'd never heard that point raised, that the thread being moved out of prospering grounds, or the proving grounds as it was called before, into the rest of the site requires a staff action. But it's kind of bullshit if you think about it for like just a second, because it's number one, it's on the site regardless. If it's public or not, I don't think is necessarily a meaningful distinction as far as the protection of the speech. As far as I'm aware, there's absolutely no statute saying that something is more or less protected if it's private or not. If you're on a private streaming site that you need an account to view to get free access to movies, it's not somehow more protected than a public streaming site with free movies. You know what I mean? Second of all, the thread was moved out, but it was moved out because of the legal threat. The moderators looked at it and they moved it out on their own. And the moderators are not agents of the Kiwi Farms. They're regular community members. You have a volunteer, no paid position. They get, just so we're clear, the Jannies do not get paid anything. They opt in to be volunteer staff to help organize stuff and take care of tasks because they like the site. They're just regular users, basically. So I disagree with their interpretation of this. To repeat, and this is the weird thing, Mr. Moon is not currently in our crosshairs, and if this thread removes the docs and never leaves the public portion of the Kiwi Farms forum, then there will be no reason for us to give Mr. Moon the time of day. That sounds like extortion. I think in law you're allowed to try and like extort people like that, but you're basically saying, yeah, we're gonna like sue you and try to waste your money unless you do what we want. And then I guess they like very flimsily try to justify that with a legal pretense, but that's basically like extortion. Our concern is not with policing the uppercase I internet. Hey, finally some fucking respect. Policing the internet activity of a single person or even a whole forum, but in protecting the security and rights of our clients. The less Kiwi Farms puts our clients in danger or permitting others to utilize information provided by Kiwi Farms to continue campaigns of harassment, stalking, and intentional inflictions of emotional distress. That's a big mouthful. The less we will have to get involved in Joshua Moon's business. Again, our sole concern here is Alyssa's well-being, and this threatens that well-being if it is released in its current form as modified, and if it stays private, then we do not believe that it represents a serious threat and may safely be ignored. You know what's really funny? Oh man, I just had a banger of a thought. In this letter, the law firm says that as long as it stays private, then it has no threat to her personal security. Now, I disagree with that on its face because public information does not, in and of itself, and the site does not incite any violence, so there's no threat. But we have a specific rule that any kind of phone book information on a first page of a forum thread must be in private tags. And that private tag works the exact same as the prospering grounds, in that you have to be logged in to see it. And this is just a thing for search engines, basically. But if as they've written, their only concern is that this information is viewable by non-guest. Well, it's not. Even now, it's moved out, but it's still private because of the forum rules. So as they've said twice now in this letter, that we're only concerned about this information being public. Well, it's not. So, problem solved. I'm glad that we came to this amicable resolution of this issue. We look forward to hearing back from you within 30 days. Dude, this is always standard in these little letters that lawyers send out. We expect a response in 48 hours, or else we will proceed with litigation. Like, they always set like a timer, like dun, like the first 48, and it's like there's no there's no reason to even write that. With news that Joshua has complied with this demand without amendment or complaint. Without amendment or complaint? What? So if I do what they ask, but I complain about it, that's a violation of this contract they've imposed upon me. If I amend it, if I remove even more than they're asking for, then that's also an amendment, right? Like, I'm giving them more than what they asked for. So if I give them more than what they asked for, or if I complain while giving them what they asked for, that's it. It's fucking Jover. We're coming after you. You didn't do a good enough job in the way that we liked. Come the fuck on. If he does so, this will conclude the matter, and this firm will go back to its usual policy of trying to think about Joshua Moon and Kiwi Farms' one-word camel case as little as humanly possible. If he fails to heed this friendly warning, he will be forced to change our policy. It is rare for someone to have such control over their own fate. Please advise Mr. Moon to make the most of it. If you have further questions or wish to speak with us directly, please contact me by email. Wait, hold up. I had a funny thought. How's it go? Okay, hold up. I got it on screen now. It is rare for someone to have such control over their own fate. Okay, here we go. Get ready.
スモーネが自分の運命を自分でコントロールできるのは珍しいことだ。すべて計画通りです。
That sounds like some Japanese anime type speech. Wait, hold up. Oh my god, there's another meme. I'm on a meme rabbit hole now. Okay, hold up. Oh, I want the one that's like that's like a shardy post. Hold on, let me see if I can find it on X. Oh, I'm not signed in. Okay, hold up. I'm signed in on Molvad for whatever reason. Where is it? I've had multiple anime avatars send this shardy post to me as an insult. And I would love to be able to find it. Elon, don't fail me, you piece of shit. Ooh, wait, I know it. It's the white eloquence meme. Sorry, I'm straight. This stream is dead until I can find this meme. Oh, yes, this is it. It's on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Shlomo Lipschitz, for your service in re-uploading this meme. Okay, here. After reading that message, I got this vibe.
Warning, white eloquence detected.
Hey, buddy. You seem to have made a small mistake. I mean, you're talking like Sephiroth or something. You're supposed to talk like this.
In 1968, the Council of Irony Socialist Podcasters signed a No Talking Like Motherfucking Sephiroth or something treaty outlawing the usage of language that isn't a direct quote from a leftist podcast or some form of African American slang.
Since it's your first time, I guess I'll let you off easy.
我需要钱，我真的，我特别需要钱，我要支付我的水电费、网费。
What that creature was trying to say is that Marxism prides itself in the worship of the turd-chucking masses. Therefore, the speech patterns of the white man are inherently ideologically opposed to it.
I'm trying to think if there's like a gore video that's at the end of this. I'm kind of nervous about. I'm gonna risk it though. I feel risky. No, okay. That's just how it is. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that white eloquence shake from that. But then again, I can't say it's white eloquence because it's not. It was asked that I read this. I posted about this one's. The entity known as Local LLC posted on the Twitter account at kiwifarms.net. This message, and I sent the person, Local LLC, the entity of, simply stated that Alyssa Mercante had threatened us with litigation, and then attached the message exactly as you saw there with no commentary. Alyssa Mercante then indirectly roundabout replied to this, and then also deleted this message, by the way, saying, Funny how people calling me an immoral whore who can't be trusted are the same people who are deadbeat dads obsessed with pixelated titties. Actually, that's directed to Max Kearns, Grums. Grums apparently went through a divorce, and baby mama had a file to get that child support. And apparently now he's paying it, but everyone calls him a deadbeat dad. However, Schneed at _noobslayer_ says, Stalker, child, you threatened the Kiwi Farms. This is why your life is already over. If you delete your criminal stalker threats off the lowercase I internet now, we will cease all trolling operations. It is rare for someone to have such control over their own fate. Of course, this is a meme. There is no compelled action from Miss Mercante. She can continue to be as retarded as she pleases. I don't know if I actually want to talk about her because she's just really gross. I'll just point out the one thing I noticed because I'm under notice from a law firm, so I'll just leave it real brief. I skimmed through this, and all I thought was like how tragic this is. You see her, you see what a normal little girl she is, and then this is her as like a young woman, and something happened that took that little girl, that young woman, and made her into just like the most vile, disgusting hobgoblin. Like, look at this shit. Look at this. Like, what the fuck? How does that happen? What has to happen? I think we all know what has to happen, but I'm not allowed to say it because that might be a defamatory statement. I don't have to prove it in court. But yeah, it's real fucking tragic and sad, chat. It makes me actually sad to see like this kind of decay. Tragic.
Thank you for watching this clip by Colonel J. This is the King of Bold here. Remember to like and subscribe. Juice!